Recently, Epic Games made a significant announcement regarding the much-anticipated release of the ARK mobile revamp. This announcement has thrilled ARK players across the globe, especially mobile gamers, as the revamped version of ARK Survival Evolved Mobile Ultimate Survivor Edition will be available on Android and iOS devices through the Epic Games Store. However, this news comes with an important caveat. The Epic Games Store is currently unavailable for iOS devices outside of the European Union (EU), posing a potential hurdle for players in other regions. The issue for iOS devices outside the EU. While the game will technically be released on the Epic Games Store for both Android and iOS, the current problem lies in the fact that Epic Games Store is not available for iOS users outside of the EU. This means that unless an iOS user resides in one of the EU countries, they won't be able to download the revamped ARK Mobile from the Epic Games Store. This issue is not only frustrating, but could potentially exclude a significant portion of the game's fanbase from accessing the revamped version. In many regions, iOS has a large user base, and these players will be eager to experience the new content and updates that the revamp brings. However, without a solution in place, they are left with no option to download the game through Epic's platform. Possible solutions for iOS players. The good news is that the ARK Mobile or Wildcard teams are aware of the situation, and potential solutions are already being discussed. One of the most viable solutions would be to release the ARK Mobile revamp on the Apple App Store, alongside its availability on the Epic Games Store. This would be the simplest and most effective way to ensure that iOS players, regardless of their location, have access to the game. By launching it on the App Store, the developers would ensure global availability, as iOS users across all regions would be able to download the game without any restrictions. This approach would also help maintain ARK Mobile's player base, ensuring that iOS players are not left out of the exciting new content, including the expansion maps, performance improvements, and other enhancements that the revamp promises. Future prospects and expectations. While there's no official confirmation yet on whether ARK Mobile revamp will come to the App Store, it seems like a logical step forward for the Wildcard and ARK Mobile teams. Players worldwide are eagerly awaiting more details, and it is highly likely that the developers will take action to ensure that iOS players are not excluded from the revamp experience. If the game does release on the App Store, it could signify a broader trend of developers providing multiple platform options for their mobile games, especially for regions where certain app stores, like Epic, are restricted. This would set a precedent for ensuring games are accessible to all players, regardless of the platform or regional limitations. Conclusion. The announcement of the ARK Mobile revamp launching on the Epic Games Store is thrilling news for ARK fans, especially with the inclusion of all DLCs and expansion maps. However, the issue of iOS availability outside the EU is a significant challenge that needs to be addressed. The most promising solution is for the developers to release the game on the Apple App Store, ensuring that iOS players globally can enjoy the revamped experience. Until then, players will be eagerly waiting for further updates from the Wildcard team, hoping for a resolution that includes everyone in the next chapter of ARK Mobile.